Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you? I am so happy to be here. I am here at the mailbox. That's right. I'm here tonight, Monday Mail with TK. I am so excited that you are joining me right now at the mailbox. We are not going to be at the mailbox long. We're going to pick up our mail and we're going to head back in. All right. That's how we're going to do it tonight. I'm just very excited to be back today. And I just want to give a shout out to some very, very important, very special people. And as you're coming in, I just want you to know that this is an exclusive right here on Working the Dash. This is exclusive because we're right here in the Working the Dash community. And tonight we're going to be giving a special shout out to some very, very special people, also providing you with some extremely wonderful tips for this special day. We're going to be talking about authors. So shout out to all of the authors out there tonight. We're going to be celebrating authors because it is National Authors Day. If you are an author or you aspire to be an author, I want to tell you congratulations. If you are aspiring to be an author, that means you have already done something, and that is get that idea in your mind as to what you're going to write about. And we're going to actually talk to you tonight about some things that you can do to become a well-read author and get you motivated and get you started. So, hey, if you are out there and you have authored a book, I want you to go ahead and drop that book right here in Working the Dash. That's a good privilege of being a part of Working the Dash. And even those that will come back and watch this later, I would hope that they would drop their book or what they have written, even if it's on a blog. A lot of authors are bloggers and they have blogs. You can put your blog out there as well. I'm just excited to congratulate you and actually welcome you here. So I want to jump in and give you just on this National Authors Day. Again, I want to give you some celebration and thank you so much for joining Chris and Arnell, Orlando. Orlando, I see you all out here. You are here right now, and I'm just excited. I'm excited that you're a part of the community and that you have authored a book. Now, I know a lot of people ask me, hey, TK, how do I get my book published? TK, how do I start writing? Oh, I really, really want to write, but I just don't know how to get started. Let me assure you that the best way to get started is to what? Get started. That's all I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna tell you right there. The way you get started, my friends, is to get started. So I want to add a little bit of value there right here at the mailbox while we're gathered around the mailbox. I want to add some value to you, and I want to kind of lift the idea and take that anxiety away from you. I have written and authored 3 books. I also have a series of ebooks that are now flip books. I've authored, and I just want to encourage you to let you know that it is something that you can do. If I can do it, you can do it. So I don't talk about authorship in a sense of that's me and I'm the only person who can do it. I talk about it from the standpoint of if I can do it, you can do it too. So I want to encourage you tonight, those of you who want to get some tips, I just want to go ahead and let you know that it is something that is attainable. So those of you who are joining right now, I see you out here. Those that are joining, Kia, she is an author. Kia, can you please put your book out there? I want to throw all of this up there. Please put your book out there. Happy National Authors Day to you, my friend. You are a children's book author, and that is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give you a few steps here tonight to let you know how simply, ridiculously easy it is to write a book. Okay. I want you to do something for me. I'm just going to start giving you these tips. I'm not going to be here long, so you can share these tips along the way. Those of you who are authors, you can agree or you can add or you can disagree and say, no, that did not work for me, but this is what I did. So please feel free to add value to the conversation as we go. So thank you so much for Kia putting your information out there. The name of her book is Mommy and Daddy Are Not Together and I'm Okay. And yes, that speaks to divorce and or separation. They're just not together. They're not in the same household. And I absolutely love that this is for children because that helps with their emotional intelligence as they are growing and matriculating. It's good to have those types of conversations. So this gives you an opportunity to be able to talk to your children about mommy and daddy not being together, because guess what? It really still is okay. So thank you, Kia, for putting that out there. Hello, America Green. I see you, girl. Here's another author. I want you to put your information out there. And you all, I love, love, love her book. I have received her book, and I am so happy to celebrate America as an author. Please put your book out there. I don't want to say it until you put it out there, because I'm just really excited about it. And I'm going to stop and explain what her book is all about as well. Just because it is National Authors Day right here at the mailbox. We're gathered to give celebration and some kudos to those authors out there. So listen. America's while she's putting her book out there, while she's dropping in her link and showing where you can go to get her book. Also put your link out there. The name of America's book is Get Your Head Out of Your Butt. And that butt is spelled B-U-T. She talks about how you overcome fears and overcome everything that will stop you, that will hinder you from moving forward in the process. So releasing all of those anxieties, get your head out of that I would, but. So I want you all to go. You can visit americag.com. And yes, you can definitely order that book there. Shout out to you authors that have come in. But let me go ahead and give you a few tips for writing a book, because I am an author and I also provide tips. And I just want to give you something out there just for free tonight, just for free, because this is information that people pay for. People pay for this type of information. I'm just putting that out there as well. But if you are on your journey, to writing your book, my friends, you have to first decide what the book is going to be about. Now, I'm going to give you some tips that comes from goingswriter.com. This is taken straight from Google. So I'm going to kind of read some things. So I want to set precedents here that these are not my words in part. I'm going to give you some of my words, but I want to make sure that I give credit to where credit is due. Because this is 10 ridiculously simple steps for writing a book. I may not go through all of them, but I do want to go through a few of them because they are steps that I've taken. So decide what your book is going to be about. Now, listen, everything that you say your book is going to be about may not be that particular title. It may not be a title that sells. So what you may want to do is you want to kind of shop that around a little bit. Look at the market research, kind of see if you want to decide what it's about, make that sentence out and you stretch it a little bit, see how people respond to it, things of that nature. Decide what your book is going to be about and stick with that particular topic. Another thing you want to do as you are writing, you want to kind of just set a goal out there for when you're going to write, what days of the week you're going to write, where you're going to write, how many words you're going to write in that day. You want to set some type of goal, because if you do not set a goal, guess what? You just have this plan in your brain, and the plan in your brain is not effective if it's not on paper. Right? So we got to get that out of our head and we got to get it on paper. The absolute only way a book can be published is that it's out of your brain. It cannot be in your brain and be published. Okay. So it can come through speech, but if you want written published work, it has to get on paper. So I want to encourage you tonight to get the book on paper. And those authors out there that are agreeing with me, I appreciate that, but I also want you to throw maybe one or two of your great tips out there that you also used while you were writing your book. Another thing you would like to do, you want to not only get the goal established, but then you want to set aside time and do what? You want to stick to that time. You want to commit to the commitment of that time of writing the book. Now, I am telling you this very high level because I am actually a webinar facilitator of Write the Book webinar for Prize Publishing. And there are so many publishers out here. I will tell you, I had a very awesome publisher who published my book. Leadership Developed Me by Lawana Grant. She published all of my works thus far, with the exception of the few ebooks that are now flip books. I've done those self-published on my own. But I will say this, publishing is not the hard thing, right? Publishing, once you get it written, you can get it published. There are publishers out here. Write the Book webinar through Prize Publishing that is led by Siobhan Smith is amazing. And I want you all to come to that. If you need a publisher, that's not the hard part. It's getting it out of your mind by setting aside time and maximizing that goal to continue writing. You have to set aside the time in order to write. Now, a lot of people say write in the same place every day. Now, this is taken from, this is taken from research. However, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with writing in the exact same place every day. That is me. That is me. I don't agree with writing in the same place every day because sometimes you do need a change of environment to get those ideas flowing. So that's my personal reference to writing in the same space. I don't agree to write in the same space. However, there may be authors who found that the space that they selected or designated to write inside of worked for them. So while we're here at the mailbox on National Authors Day, I want to tell you right now, in my opinion, in my estimated opinion, I had to choose different areas to write in. So there were times that I was able to write in my room. There were times I was able to write in my living room. However, there were plenty of times I had to get away and go to a different environment, get around a different type of ambiance, and so that I can get those other ideas flowing. So I want to welcome Carla Galbraith, Dr. Carla Galbraith, who is a trustee for the Church of God in Christ Incorporated. Yes, I just love saying that. I just love saying Dr. G is the trustee. And she gives us information. She says, get out of your mind. That's right. Sometimes you have to get out of your own way. That's what that is interpreted as. Get out of your mind, because sometimes when we're too much in our own brain and our own format of thinking, we become so overwhelmed and so anxious. Guess what? We don't do anything because we are so tied to the what ifs and the buts. And we've already, Merica's book says, get your head out of your butt, out of your B-U-T. Get out of that. Get out of your mind. So thank you for that. And Kia also says, write when you are inspired. When you're inspired to write, guess what, Kia? Kia says something very potent there. But I'm going to tell you this. Plenty of times, that inspiration came at 3:00 a.m. That's why I'm going to also give you another tip with writing. When you're inspired, keep you a notebook under your pillow. Get you a good writing pen and keep that notebook right there beside you. Grab you some paper. I don't care how sleepy you are, because let me tell you this. I don't care how many times you tell yourself you're going to remember when you wake up. I promise you, I don't know anybody who remember. Let me talk about TK. I have never remembered, and I'd have prayed and fasted and gone before the Lord in sackcloth and ashes and told him, please give me back that, please give me back that thought that I had at 4:30 a.m. And it was so good, Lord, I haven't gotten it back yet. So maybe those of you who have a really, really strong prayer life can go before the Lord on my behalf. But I've never ever got that thought back. And they're so great when they come. So yes, right when you are inspired. You all are helping me here at the mailbox tonight. Yes, ma'am. Right when you are inspired. So thank you for that. Also, here's another one. Use the notes app on your phone. Yes, I said pen and paper, and maybe I've dated myself, but here's the thing. I like pen and paper because anything can happen to your phone. I know people say, right, get on those notes and things of that nature, but anything could happen. So I just use a hard journal. I have a nice straight journal, and I just utilize that journal for my notes, and that way I can go back and reference that. But I love the idea of Kia is saying to put those notes in your phone. So everybody is sitting there with their phones anyway. So use it to your advantage, you writers out there. Listen, I also want to tell you this. Make sure that you have a group of people. Once you get this book going, make sure you have somebody who's going to tell you the truth about your book, right? I want you to come to the Write the Book webinar. I'm so excited about that. I want you to come to Write the Book webinar, because what I want you to understand is that, listen, there are so many great tips in the Write the Book webinar. I'm not even hitting the tip of the iceberg right here, but I just want you to understand something. Listen, get you a group of people who are honest with you. They need to be honest with you. These are the ones that you don't walk away with your feelings hurt when they say, girl, that is just something you need to keep in your journal. That's not something you need to write about, because you're not going to be able to maximize. Now, let me just say this before I go. Many people say, well, TK, I just can't write a book because I don't know how many words I need, and I don't know how many pages. It just looks like such long process and such a long journey. Let me tell you, people, you need 32 written pages of content. You need content, okay? You need 32 pages of content, and that pretty much is equivalent to about 18 to 20 pages typed in Word. And then they're going to be formatted down to the book that you want, the designated size. So I won't get into publishing. I will let the publishers talk about publishing. But I just wanted to kind of throw some things out there. Now, I know this is a lot of information. Yes, America, ideas come straight from the throne. When they come, you better do what Kia just said again. Have you a good piece of paper and a pencil too, and get those ideas down. Now, I know that I have skated through, how you get a book out there and things of that nature. These are definitely not all of the tips, but I just wanted to kind of inspire your inspiration. I'm going to tap your motivation. Once you start writing, it will continue to flow. That is so good, Dr. Galbraith. Once you start, you got to keep going. You have to keep it going. And guess what? Most of the time, we lose sight of what we really want to do simply because we decide that we're not going to start. We stop before we even get started. Do not be a self-sabotaging individual. Do not self-sabotage your own project before it even gets started. Make sure that you have certainly tried. Give it a try. I promise you, if you pick it up, if you say, I have something that I need to give the world, guess what? That means someone out there needs what you have to offer. A lot of people are saying, I don't know how to tell this story. Guess what? There are people out here that know how to help you tell your story, but you have to get started. You have to get started. Once you start, you can continue. Here's another, don't doubt yourself. Your words are important. That's absolutely right. Listen, I've written affirmations for authors, and that is one of the affirmations that I say, that you know what? If you don't write it, you can't sign off on it. People need to hear your voice. And most of the time, the way that they can hear your voice is through written material. I have definitely, I know that I can communicate as I'm communicating with you right now. However, when I write, that's when I can give you all of TK, because that's where I thrive. I thrive in written material. So, I'm going to tell you again, don't doubt yourself, because here's another great tip. No one can tell your story for you but you. Nobody can tell your story like you can tell your story. So I want to encourage you tonight. Share your story. Share your story, and happy National Authors Day. If you're an author and you come back here and you tap into this and you hear it, I want to celebrate you. I want you to throw your book out there. I'm an author 4 times, an author. I have 4 written projects, one of which I have self-published as affirmations. I have that. It's a flip book. And I have 3 that have been actually published by Leadership Develop Me under Lawana Grant and her team. And guess what? I am the better for it. So I absolutely love my journey as an author. If you want tips on how to be an author, I'm going to share with you in this segment. I'm going to share right after it's over. I'm going to share in the comments just a link that I'm going to give you some tips for authors, aspiring to write your book and share your story. I want to be that resource for you. So many of you know that I am a connector. I am a motivator. That is what I have been called to do. And I want to congratulate, somebody's congratulating me. Yes, Dr. Hall, thank you so much. However, I just wanted to take time tonight at the mailbox to congratulate all of you who are authors. So yes, Lord, help us to finish what we have started. Listen, what I need you all to understand right now, hear me and hear me well. Now, y'all saw I took a nice little pause. I slowed down simply because I'm slowing down. I want you to hear. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Let us say yes to ourselves this season, okay? I pray that in this season, those of you who really aspire and desire to write the book, I want this to be a season of rejuvenation for you. I want you to say yes to your book. Yes to the time that you're going to devote to it. Yes to the time that you're going to give yourself. I see Delon Radaball has just joined as well. And she too is an amazing author. And I want Delon to put her book out here too for National Authors Day. But I want you to start saying yes to yourself this season. I want you to say yes to yourself. Yes to your book. I want you to right now affirm that you're going to commit to the commitment of writing. It's not going to happen by osmosis. There's no magical sauce. There's no secret. The only secret, the only measure of success that we have right now to getting the book written and getting the book done and getting it published and us being able to write it so we can sign it is that you definitely have to do the work. You have to put the time and the effort into writing the book. You have to say yes to yourself, meaning that if you devote 2 hours a day to writing your book, nothing else should infiltrate that time slot. You have to say no to something else, especially if it's going to interfere with the time that you said you're going to give to your book. I don't have 3 books written and published just because I said I wanted to write a book. I had to put the time and effort into it. I don't have a series of ebooks that are now flip books because I just said, oh, I just want to have an ebook. I had to put the time and effort and energy into it. So I'm encouraging you tonight, do it. And if I can do it, you can too. I just want to tell you that. So say yes to your book. Yes. And we're going to finish. We're going to finish. Can we commit to finishing? And I am going to stand in as the therapist. I will accept that, Dr. G. I'll accept it because I want to be that person for you. I just want to push you. I want to connect with you. I want to tell you that it is your time. You can write the book. And let me just tell you this before I close. As I leave, y'all see this. There's something right here bugging me. Okay. As I leave, let me tell you this. I used to always ask God, why was everything so hard for me? Why is it that I can't just wake up and a book be published for me? Why don't I have a team? Why is it that I have to go through all of the hardship of trying to find out information? And you know what the Lord ministered to me? He said, because you are going to be the conduit to help somebody else. So you can't help anybody if you've never walked that path. If you don't know how to get a book published, you can't help anybody publish the book. If you've never gone through the late nights and the tears and the focus groups and the rewrites and the starting back over, you can't help anybody. So in order for me to be a connector, I had to go through the hardship of learning all of this on my own, of learning how to format ebooks, of learning formatting books and knowing how many pages is going to get me a written, published piece of material. My first book I self-published. It was difficult because I did not have any help. I didn't know information. I had to look for information. I had to pay to get information. So what am I telling you right now? Because I have gone through that hardship, I want to be that person for you right now, just to let you know that you can do it. You can. And it's with the help of the Lord and with people like me who don't really mind taking the time to give you the information that I've given you tonight. You can do it. And I just want to tell you that. My bishop said today, I'm going to quote Bishop Jerry L. Maynard. He said, don't you dare give up. And I'm going to tell you that. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare. Don't you dare give up. I've gone through the process. Kia has gone through the process. Dr. Hall is going through the process. Listen, let's come together as this community, and I want to see some 2022 authors in the building. Those of us who've written, I want us to write some more. We're going to produce some more. We're going to publish more. Okay? So that's my time here at the mailbox, my friends. It has just been an absolute delight hanging out with you tonight. I am inspired as well, and I want to continue to encourage you and motivate you and tap into that value add, because guess what? Your voice certainly is valuable. You can add value in the space in which your topic of your book is going to add that value. I'm waiting to hear your voice through your written material, and the world is as well. Thank you so much for indulging me tonight. I love each and every one of you. Please meet me back at another time right here on Working the Dash with TK.